In this lesson, we're gonna learn how to visualize some attributes like droplet, velocity, and curvature, etc. And this is going to help us to analyze what's happening in the simulation, to fix some problems, or to improve the simulation. And it depends on what you need to do. So here in the scene, I have the emitter and I have an object. This will work as a collider. And I have a plane. So let's create the emitter. Let's select the emitter and let's go to Bifrost and click on liquid. And I'm going to turn this object to collider. So I'm going to select that and let's select the Bifrost liquid. And let's go to Bifrost fluids and let's click on collider. And I want to convert the plane to collider too, so let's select the plane and the order doesn't matter, so let's go to Bifrost and collider. And now let's hit play. And we need to select the emitter and let's go and click on continuous emission. And I want to increase the resolution of the liquid too, so let's select the liquid properties and then I'm going to master voxel size. So I'm gonna change that to 0.3 for now and let's see. And you see the first problem is that some particles are escaping from the collider. I don't know if you can see that, so let's select and make the particle size bigger. So as you see, here are some particles. So let's turn that to 1. And the reason is because the thickness of the bottom of the collider is too thin. So let's go back. And I'm going to right click and choose face. I'm going to select all the faces here. So now I'm going to move it down. So now the problem should be fixed. So let's hit play. And as you see, we don't have any particles escaping from the collider. So you could do another thing. You can go to the Bifrost liquid properties there and play with the steps there. But really, this is going to increase the simulation time. So I find that if we increase the thickness, it's better than playing with these attributes there. So, and for the plane, and again the particles will not be collided with the plane because, so as you see, they are going through the plane. So we need to select the plane and let's select the collider too. This is for the second plane, the second geometry. So because it's flat, so we need to go to the collider properties too. And here you'll notice we have the mode. We need to set that to shell. So what this gonna do, this will create a thickness to the plane. Or you can simply select that and make a thickness by extruding the faces. It works too. But the problem is now that the thickness now is too thin. We don't see that, but it's too thin. So let's set that to 2. And now we should have more thickness. So let's hit play and see that again. And as you see, we still have some particles escaping from that, but that's not a problem. So let's go back and let's select the liquid and I'm going to Bifrost fluids and now I'm going to create kill plane. So this plane will kill the particles and this is infinite plane. So Now the particles will die when they pass through the plane we created. So that's great. So now let's select the liquid, and here in the particle display tab, you'll notice here we have some attributes. So these attributes are just for visualization. This will not affect the rendering or the simulation. This is just to help you to visualize some attributes like the velocity. For example, here you see the particles here are white and here are blue. So you'll notice here we have the blue and the white too. So what this means that the velocity here is greater than the velocity in the upper area. So as you see, I can visualize that. Let's increase the points a little bit more too, so we can see it better. So you see, you can control how you want the color to be applied to the particle. And again, this is nothing to do with the rendering or the simulation. This is just for us. So here you can set the max value, for example, to 10 or anything you want. And here you notice we have the color channel, right? And I can set to density, I can set to the position or velocity or vorticity, anything I want. But there are some attributes, they are not shown here. So if I go to the liquid properties there, and if I scroll down under the optional channels, you'll notice here we have the curvature enable, churn enable, and age. So if you enable that, now Maya will calculate them just for visualization. So even if you turn them off, there is still curvature and churn and age. So why Bifrost turning them off? So Bifrost turning them off by default, because this is going to increase the simulation time. That's why they are turned off by default. So let's go back now to the liquid. Now we need to reset the simulation and play it again. So now if I go ahead and click on the color channel, now you should see them there. So let's see, where is the, I don't know why they are not showing. Let's see, liquid shape. So this is the churn, this is the curvature, and this is the age. Where is the age? This is the age. So if I click on age, I can visualize the age of the particles. So now again we need to control, let's set that to 1. As you see, now I can visualize that, as you see. So if I set that to churn, I can see where is the churn happening on the fluid. So if we turn off the color, and it's really, as you see, it's difficult to know where the churn is happening on the particle, and that's why it's very important to understand the color channel remap. So we can go to the curvature, and as you see, I can visualize where the curvature is, and I can visualize the droplet. So let's control the ramp and see where my droplets are. As you see, they are in this area. So how I can benefit from that? So let's say I want to kill the droplets. So now I can select that, and now I can go to Bifrost Fluids, and then I'm going to click on Kill Field. So I'm going to turn off the boundary, and now I'm going to click on droplets. So when I turning off the boundary, now the field will control the entire scene, will affect the entire scene. So now we can delete that by going to the min droplet value and max droplet value. So let's set that to 0.1, for example. And now let's hit play again and see if we killed them. As you see, we almost killed all the droplets. So for those who don't know what the droplets are the parts of the particles when they are separated from the main body. so they called droplets. As you see, I deleted them. So that's how it's very useful to understand how to use the color channel, and this is really very helpful. And of course you can check the opacity too, so you can visualize the edge, for example. So you see, I can visualize them by the opacity. Let's set that to 10. So that's it for this lesson, and you saw how the color channel remap is very useful tool to help you to analyze your simulation and help you to solve any issue you get.